What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Wednesday, April 28th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comment section who is your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. We are rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Gary Harris, Yusuf Nurkic, Brandon Goodwin, Chuma Okeke, and Cole Anthony. That is a really gross group of 5 guys. Apologies to Yusuf Nurkic. Who will be my favorites, my top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. First up at number 5, we're going to the point guard spot, and we're grabbing Dennis Schroeder. He's 6,900, projected for 38. The goal's 46. He's in the optimal lineup 17% of the time. Schroeder's playing really big minutes. I've got him in for 35 here. He gets the benefit of the massive pace-up spot against Washington. 5 additional possessions over their average. This is as big as it gets from a pace-up perspective. I've actually got him at like 1.1 fantasy points per minute in this spot. 25% usage, 20 points, 7 assists, 3.5 boards, basically, a steal. And I think AD being back actually helps Schroeder. It should like open up a little bit more. They don't have a ton of offensive talent on this team. So bringing back someone like Anthony Davis should at least make things a little bit easier for Dennis Schroeder. There's definitely enough shots to go around if you're playing 35 minutes. So I like getting to Schroeder. 6,900, nice, is a pretty good price tag for Schroeder if there's no LeBron James on the floor, which there's not. I honestly thought this guy would be a little bit higher, but number 4, shooting guard and small forward eligible Joe Ingles, 6,700, projected for 36.5. The goal's 45.5. He's in the optimal lineup 18% of the time. Ingles is going to play big minutes, 34, in fact, based on my estimation, because we have no Donovan Mitchell and we have no Mike Conley. And that means Point Ingles is in effect. 1.07 fantasy points per minute. That's a monster bump for him. 20% usage, 17.5 points, 7 assists, 4 boards, maybe a stock. But you see massive increases in usage and assist rate for Ingles when those guys are off the floor. He basically runs the offense. Now, it's a pace neutral spot against Sacramento, but we know Sacramento's defense, absolutely terrible. And that is a benefit for the Utah Jazz. All signs point to going to Ingles, including the fact that he has the best eligibility on the slate. Shooting guard, small forward, guard forward, utility. You can put him anywhere, and you should. He looks great today. Staying in the same game, but switching teams, point guard, shooting guard eligible TYRESE Haliburton is the number 3 contender. 7,100, projected for 38.5. The goal is 47. He is in the optimal lineup 18% of the time. We know what's happening here. No De'Aaron Fox means Haliburton is playing 36 minutes a game with increased roles on offense, bigger usage, bigger assist rate. We've got Haliburton at somewhere just shy of 1.1 fantasy points per minute, 21% usage, 17, 8, 3.5 points, 2 stocks, which is important. Now, it's a really difficult matchup against Utah. Utah's defense is really good, but we're paying for opportunity, and we're paying for a guy that is simply underpriced for De'Aaron Fox being out. The price is going to continue to climb, and I'm going to continue to play TYRESE Haliburton until it hits its peak. Now, at number 2, I'm not really excited about this, but I got to talk about it anyway. Power forward center eligible Dean Wade. He is 3,500, projected for 21. The goal is 34. He's in the optimal lineup 19% of the time. This is a value play because there's not a ton of value out there right now. I've got him in for 27 minutes. I think that he can play more. There are so many injuries for the Cleveland Cavs that they are pretty thin right now. So 27 minutes, but that could go to 30. It wouldn't be surprising. Who knows? Keep your eye on Kevin Love after his antics in the last game. Wade could even play more. He's a 0.79 fantasy point per minute guy. 9 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, a stock and a half. It's a pace down spot slightly against Orlando, but Orlando is one of the few teams that is actually worse than the Cleveland Cavaliers, which is incredible to think about. Cavs are favored in this game. I assume that Dean Wade falls a little bit, unless we get Cavs news, actually. But I assume Dean Wade falls a little bit throughout the day as other injuries pop up and we get more value. But for right now, Dean Wade at 3,500, the fact that he has that power forward eligibility is massive if you're trying to fit in higher price guys, like my number 1 contender, perhaps. But before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Then you got to head on over to Twitter and follow me at Josh Engleman. It's the only place that you can get updates to my sim results as we get closer to lock. Finally, underneath this video is the comment section. I want to know your favorite contender, your least favorite contender, and the guy that you think should be on this list that you have not seen. At least I know I won't get any flack for this one. Number 1 contender, NIKOLA Jokic, center eligible, 11K, projected for 58.5. The goal is 60.5. He's in the optimal lineup 20% of the time. This should not take a ton of convincing. I've got Jokic projected for 1.67 fantasy points per minute in 35 minutes. He does literally everything when there's no DeJounte Murray. When there's no Jamal Murray. Good God. There's no Monty Morris. There's no Will Barton. So 35 minutes of 34% usage, NIKOLA Jokic. That's 31 real points, 10 rebounds, almost 8 assists, and 2 stocks in a pace-up matchup against the New Orleans Pelicans team that isn't very good. Right now, they are on the outside looking in of all of the playoffs. That includes 10 teams. So this seems like a spot that Jokic can thrive. Obviously, Steven Adams is not going to do very well trying to guard him on the perimeter. I think Jokic is going to be able to do whatever he wants. If the shot is falling and he has that I'm going to shoot a lot gene going today, NIKOLA Jokic should smash and be absolutely necessary at 11K. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Wednesday, April 28th. FanDuel version of this video is around here somewhere. Process show already recorded. Go watch that. I broke down all 10 games. I'm on the strategy show with Laffy at 10 a.m. and then I'm back on Live Before Lock tonight, 6 p.m. with Greg Ehrenberg. Good luck tonight, everybody. I will be back again tomorrow morning for another edition of the Contenders.